What's going on, guys? This is Ryan from Ryan and Crystal's Reviews, and we got breaking news announcements today on the channel. Hot Toys has officially released for pre-order the Doc Brown and Marty Mcfly from Back to the Future, the original Back to the Future. And I'm really excited about these figures. I missed out on the original versions back in 2014, so I'm hoping that these are going to live up to that hype because they are super expensive on the secondary market now. I love it when Hot Toys does reissues and gives us the chance to get some of these older figures with better technology, better versions of what they're doing right now. But before we get into it, please drop down, grab that subscribe button, slam that like button, drop a comment below. Let us know how you guys enjoy these videos. Let us know, are you going to pick these up? All the stuff. We love to hear from y'all. And please subscribe so we can continue to make great content for you. So now let's get into these figures. So the first one we're going to look at is Doc Brown. So there are two versions of Doc Brown. There's a regular and there's a deluxe. The deluxe comes with the additional case of plutonium canisters. We'll get to that here in a second. So you can see here on the first one you got Doc and Marty right there. It looks really cool together. And then you got Doc by himself. Now there you can see the plutonium canisters in the case, and we'll get a zoomed in version of that here in just a second. So you can see it looks really good. You see Einstein there in the middle. We'll look at him when we get to Marty because that's who he comes with, which I find that kind of odd that he comes with Marty and not Doc. I guess because of the plutonium canister, but it is what it is. So here we get a really good look at his suit, his jumpsuit. He's got the kind of that Hawaiian style shirt that he likes to wear here underneath. He's got the sleeves rolled up with the thermals. He's got, it looks like some sort of pamphlet right there. He's got the controller that controls the Delorean. When he got Einstein driving it, he's really in control of it. You got the pouch here with all of his tools and everything. Looks really, really cool. I love when Hot Toys goes into these little smaller details and really gives us very cool screen accurate stuff with those little tiny details that they do. I feel that's what sets them apart from everybody else. The head sculpt on this one is so-so. This reminds me more of the Back to the Future 2 head sculpt than the original. So we'll see. They may update it before then. You know, we're talking probably 2023 before this gets released. So there's a good chance that when they get around to start producing him, that they may do a head sculpt update. They like to do that. So you can see here, we get a little bit closer look at the plutonium case with all the small canisters in it. I don't know if just one of those is removable or if they're all removable. I'm going to assume that probably just this one is removable, because if I remember right from the movie, he only takes one out. So the case actually will close and open. I don't know, it probably doesn't actually latch, probably just magnetics, closes, holds, and then you can pop it back open. But you get that with the deluxe version. I'm going to assume that the deluxe version is probably going to cost anywhere from $40 to $70 more, and it's just because of this case. But it's a really cool looking addition to this figure. I don't believe that was involved, or that was included in the first Doc Brown that we got. So that's a nice addition that they're doing. You can see here, fully standing, full picture here. He's got his hands on the remote. I'm interested to see if they have hands that are specifically to hold that remote, because that thing looks a little difficult to hold. But there he's holding it there, and then he's got his clipboard, which I think you can. I thought there was no, I don't think he clips to the back. I thought I saw a picture earlier of him having the clipboard in his back pocket or something. There's Marty. Great pictures. Yeah, so there's the clipboard. I mean, this is really, really cool. Really happy we're getting this. We're getting a reissue of this figure. There's Einstein. So Einstein, we'll talk more about him when we get into Marty Mcfly, because we'll get a couple really good shots of him. There's a cool up close shot of the clipboard and some of his papers. And you can see there's writing on those papers. I'm interested to see when we get it in hand and get it up close. Is it actual writing or is it just kind of scribbled to make it give that effect? You see he's got his watch on there. It looks really cool. Got another watch on. And that tool pouch looks really, really good. It's really cool. I don't know if those tools are going to be removable or not. They might be, they might not be. But all in all, it looks really nice. And the stopwatch, he's got everything there. It looks really great. He's got his pocket protector. He's got some sort of map. Or that's well, I guess it's a geographical map, but it's got the time zones on it, which is really cool. And then there's the full page picture. So it looks like you get the plutonium case. Of course, that's the deluxe version. You get the controller that's got 88 miles an hour on it. And then you've got the pouch, you've got the stopwatch, you've got the generic base, which I'm kind of surprised with. Kind of surprised they're going with that base. They don't go with more of a updated style base, but they're doing the oval base for him. You're only going to get 2 pairs of hands, which is interesting considering that there's so many things that you can hold on to and grab. And it looks like to get Einstein's stopwatch, you've got to buy Doc Brown. Because when we look at the other pictures for Marty McFly, Einstein doesn't have that stopwatch on. So that's something to keep in mind, that if you want Einie to have his stopwatch, you got to get Doc Brown. And then, of course, the clipboard there. So I think this is a great figure. I see this figure ranging probably from $275-ish for the regular version to probably $300 to $330 for the deluxe. They're going to upcharge you for that plutonium case. So that's something to keep in mind as we go forward. So now, let's take a look at Marty and Einstein. So this is actually called Marty Mcfly and Einstein. You can see here, Einstein does not have that stopwatch. So I'm thinking that stopwatch is only for the Doc Brown figure. So if you want Einie to have his, you got it. So we can see here, Marty's got on his vest, and he's got on his clothes that he's got on from the beginning of the movie. He's got his camcorder, he's got the skateboard, he's got the Air Force Ones. The old Nikes look nice. Of course, they don't actually say Nike on them, but they still look pretty good. He's got the rolled up sleeves just like the 2014 version had. He's got the camcorder there, so you've got a hand to hold the camcorder, which looks really good. And then there we get our first up close look at Einstein. So let's zoom in. I think I can. No, I can't zoom in. So you can see you've got this little bit of breaking here at his neck. So I think his head will have a little bit of articulation to it. Probably move side to side. And probably going to pop that head off, slap on that stopwatch, pop the head back on. So that, like I said, that's something to keep in mind. If you're looking for that look, you're going to have to get the Doc Brown figure as well. So there they are again. And it, like I said, it is labeled as Marty McFly and Einstein. So you get the Walkman. You have his Walkman on? Yeah, so he's got his, you can see here, he's got the cord for his headphones here. The Walkman's plugged in. And there he's got the headphones on. So I would say the headphones probably come on the figure. They could be loose, but I have a feeling they probably come on the figure, and he keeps them on pretty much the whole movie. So at least when he's in this outfit. And then you got the camcorder there, looks real nice. His watch looks good. There he's filming Doc, beginning of the film. He's got the paper for saying the clock tower. Interested to see if it says on the back of it what Jennifer writes on the back. I don't see it right there, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say probably not. And then you got your skateboard there, because that's a major plot point, because if she doesn't write that on the back of the paper, he may not show that to Doc when he goes back in the past to 1955. And then that's when Doc figures out, hey, we know when a bolt of lightning is going to hit. So there he is without the vest. Get a couple shots there with him without the vest on. It looks like he's got some sort of couple lapel pins here. One thing I wish they would have included would have been his guitar. I believe the original version, the deluxe version from 2014, included a guitar. This one doesn't. I really wish it would have, but you know, if you want to pose him like that, it's probably not that difficult to find a guitar, a 6-scale guitar. Maybe you can even find the one that came with the 2014 version, someone just selling it by itself. You might be able to do that as well. So we get a close-up look. I think the head sculpt looks really good. I think it's a very good likeness of Michael J. Fox. It reminds me of the one they did in 2014. They probably updated it just a little bit, but not a lot. I think their head sculpts have gotten a lot better over the last couple of years. They've started to add even more detail into it, where you can see wrinkles and pores and things like that, which I think is really, really cool. So again, this is a nice figure. Both these figures are nice. I think both these figures are going to sell out before they hit Sideshow for purchase. I think the pre-orders are going to sell out on this guy. Normally I don't say that. You guys know that from watching these videos. All the reviews and previews I've done, I have not once said I think this figure is going to sell out before the figures actually ship. These two, I do. There has been a lot of want from collectors wanting these two figures. There's been a lot of talk, asking Hot Toys to reissue these, begging Hot Toys to reissue these. I don't think they're going to sell out today when they get released, but I do think one or two of these will sell out pre-order wise before Hot Toys produces them. Now, I like to talk about on this channel my theory on how Hot Toys produces their numbers. We don't really know. I think that they've gone more into let's get a lot of pre-orders and then let's pad our numbers that way. That's how I would do it. If I was Hot Toys, I'd say, okay, I'm going to see how many pre-orders I'm going to get. And then if I get 2,000 pre-orders and I plan on making 5,000 figures, then I know I just got to maybe I change my mind and say, okay, well, I'm only going to make 4,000 figures. Or if I was going to plan on making 5,000 figures and I get 5,000 pre-orders, then I'm going to say, well, maybe I should make 7,000 figures. You know, that's how I would handle it. But I don't work for them, so I got that going for me. So the other thing I want to talk about is the Delorean. So we can see here, and we've seen in a couple other different shots, we get a preview of the Delorean. Now, is this going to be the Delorean that was released years ago? I don't know. Again, there's been a lot of collectors, a lot of talk, a lot of people asking Hot Toys to reissue the Delorean. We did get a reissue of the Tumbler from the Nolanverse Batman, which is up for pre-order right now. So I think the chances are really, really good that we're going to see a Delorean in our future. I don't know if it's going to be immediate. They may wait to see how these figures sell pre-order wise. If they sell a lot in pre-orders, they may say, hey, let's go ahead and do the Delorean. If the pre-orders don't sell, which, like I just got done saying, I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to go crazy. If they, for some reason, don't sell, then they may say, you know what, we're not going to do the Delorean. Because I'm sure the Delorean is a lot more detailed work and all that. Now, looking at these figures and looking at the Delorean, I would be a little bit worried about trying to get Doc and Marty in the Delorean sitting down. I do remember from the previous Delorean there was a lot of complaints that you couldn't even get Doc in it because he's just too big. So if they do the Delorean, I'm hoping that they fix that issue this time. Looking at this one, it looks identical to the one they released before, same issue. So this could just be the one they used prior, or they released prior, and they're just using it for these shots. I don't know. Twofold. So you see the two of them together, and they look really good together. And then this starts to beg the question, will we see a Back to the Future episode 2 Marty and Doc release? With the jacket, the hat, all that stuff. So, and Doc in his crazy over trench coat, yellow raincoat that we got a few years back. That one was just recent though. That one only was a couple years ago. So here's the final photo. So you can see here you got Einstein, you've got the Walkman, and he's got an interior pocket in the jacket. And we didn't get to see that lining in the original, in anything on the promo shots. You can kind of see it a little bit, but you couldn't really see it that well. It looks really nice. And then you've got his suspenders there and everything. So then we've got the skateboard, we've got the Save the Clock Tower flyer, we've got the shoes, the Nikes. Were they Adidas in the first? I don't remember if they were Adidas in the first one or they were Nikes in the first one. Of course, the famous Nike shoes, the automatic laces, or the second one. I don't remember if he was wearing Adidas in this one or not. So I've been saying Nikes. They could have been Adidas. To go check that out. And then you get a look at the backpack there. You get the camcorder. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of hands. And then, of course, you get your typical oval generic stand. So, you know, obviously with the popularity of Rick and Morty, which is kind of Back to the Future, but with a twist, you know, Back to the Future has gotten a little bit of resurgence in the pop culture phenomenon. So I'm glad that Hot Toys is reissuing these. I'm looking forward to getting these and getting them in hand. Like I said, you probably want to jump on these early if you've got the cash to put down on it, because I really feel that these things are going to sell out. It may not be today, probably not tomorrow. It could be a couple months down the line. But I do think the pre-orders are going to sell out unless Hot Toys has changed it to where they just take as many pre-orders as they can and then they make a certain amount of figures above that. That could be how they do it now. I don't know. That's kind of the mystery. So I appreciate y'all watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.